It is the wrap-up. Gareth Roberts, Craig Hannan. We're at Avenue HQ, which is the Anfield app's new home. We're made up with it. It's lovely. It's at Man Islands, right on Liverpool's pier head. But yeah, we're talking about the Reds as usual, and a grim Sunday against Spurs, 4-1. There's been loads on the site this week discussing whether Klopp should be getting a bit of stick, discussing whether we should have bought more players in the summer, discussing every aspect, how we move on as well. I mean, Klopp said in his press conference post-Spurs that sort of there's a clean slate now and everyone's got to impress, and that we start again, and that, you know, all places are up for grabs really. My only problem with that, Craig, really is that there's not loads he can do, is there? I mean, you know, you can say that to the players. They've had a team meeting this week as well, which always happens when a club's, you know, not doing so well. But, you know, he can't drop, for instance, Matip and Lovren, because are you playing then? You know
exactly,
what I mean?
yeah. He's in a difficult situation, because if he can drop the keeper, but if he drops the keeper and a new keeper comes in and he doesn't do very well, then he's in that sort of, it's a catch-22 for him there. He could maybe move Gomez to centre back, but he still has to play either Matip or Lovren. So it's a really difficult one for him at Huddersfield, and it feels like one that he can't really win, because if we beat Huddersfield and we beat them convincingly, it's almost like, well, you should be beating Huddersfield anyway. But if he doesn't, then, you know, the pitchforks are out. If he makes if the players that he brings in makes mistakes, then the pitchforks are out. So it's a really difficult one this weekend.
Yeah, it's a difficult time. I mean, what I would say is that, you know, I think we've kind of got to put it all aside, though. We've always got to do this. We've got to be supporters. If you go on the ground and you're getting in there, let's not turn on them. Let's give them a bit of time. Let's show a bit of patience, and let's hope they can win, because, you know, these two managers, Wagner and Klopp, obviously know each other well. Huddersfield coming off the back of a good result against Manchester United, arguably one of the worst times to play them. Sound. So I think we might have to show a bit of patience there, and, you know, be supporters rather than getting on the backs. But it is a difficult time. So get away from the first team a little bit then and talk about something else. Talk about something nice. Gibbons been down to Liverpool's Academy in Kirkby to find out what's going on there.
And here we are at the Academy in Kirkby, and with Glenn Price from ESPN, who follows the under-23s and under-18s team quite closely here. Behind us you can see the famous Academy building, and this is the under-18s pitch where they play their home games. And we've just been to interview Neil Critchley, who, those who don't know, is the manager of the under-23s, and he was asked straight away about Ryan Brewster, huge star of the week. He scored a hat-trick, you know, against Brazil, which isn't bad, in a World Cup semi-final, which isn't bad again, and I think he was expecting to be asked about that early.
Yeah, I think him and the press officer took bets about how long it'd take for him to be asked. It wasn't long, spoiler alert.
I don't think he'd sat down.
No. It's kind of a weird one, because obviously the country's gone into a bit of overdrive on the Ryan Brewster train, but then again, Neil Critchley's someone who's going to try and coach him, improve him, so he's going to praise him, but he's not going to go overboard, and he's probably going to dangle a bit of carrot in front of him, even though he's, you know, feels like he's the hottest prospect in world football at the moment as a youngster anyway. But yeah, as I say, I think he said the whole academy here will buzz in after his hat-trick, and also good news as well on the day that, you know, Ben Woodburn, one of our own here, signed a 5-year deal.
I mean, there's a lot of positivity around the academy at the moment. You know, in the first team we're 9th in the league, and everyone's feeling a bit sorry for ourselves. But at the academy, the under-23s are absolutely flying, 5 points clear at the top. You know, you've got the likes of Ryan Brewster making big names for himself. Woodburn, as we know, doing great with Wales as well. And, you know, it's a positive place to be. And the fact that Woodburn, you know, I'm sure could have his pick of any club in the world, is committed the next 5 years to Liverpool, shows that they're doing a lot right here anyway.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot right for quite some time. I think obviously there's been a few negative points in you know, the past year or so, the transfer ban. But there is definitely good work going on here. I think there's also an emphasis on, you know, helping players off the pitch develop skills that will help them in life, and then maybe when it doesn't work out at Liverpool, I think Liverpool are quite good in helping players get chances at other teams. I think Tom Brewitt's a good example. I think he's doing well at Middlesbrough now. So yeah, there is a lot of good work being done here, and that's not just with what we see, you know, in the first team with like Trent and Ben and obviously Ryan now, but you know, a lot of good work behind the scenes.
So yeah, do come and support the teams if you don't already, and keep an eye out for them. As I said, the under-18s play here at the Academy. That's where they play the home games. It's completely free to go. You just need to turn up and you can watch them. And that's Steven Gerrard's under-18s with a few lads like Curtis Jones who are making a name for themselves as well. Under-23s generally play at Tranmere. That's where they're playing this Sunday. They're playing against the Leicester City under-23 team. That's 1 o'clock. If you're a season ticket holder, you can get in for free. If you can get hold of someone else's season ticket holder, you can get in for free. If not, it's only about a £5 for adults and a few quid for kids as well. So do get down, do watch the likes of Harry Wilson, Ovie Ejaria, who people will know. It's a great opportunity to see tomorrow's stars, really, and none more so than Ryan Brewster at the moment. But yeah, cheers and back to the lads.
Interesting stuff from Mr. John Gibbons there at Liverpool's Academy, finding out what's going on there. But back to the Huddersfield game, Craig. I mean, the thing for me now is we're in October and we don't sort of really know what this Liverpool side's about. I mean, I think you were looking at signs last season and going, well, they go and fight, they go and compete with those top 6 sides. We had that great record against them. This season already we've been beaten by Spurs, beaten by Man City as well. We did win against Arsenal, but we seem to maybe catch them at a bit of a right time to play them. And then we struggled with draws against sides that really we should be beaten. So I'm a little bit concerned that we've got to this stage and we still don't know what they're about, how they win games, how they pick up points on a regular basis.
Exactly, that was one of the things last season. You know, we were beating the top 6, and even against the sides lower in the table at home, especially in the first half of the season, we were blitzing sides. We were, you know, it wasn't just competing with them; it was beating them convincingly. And we've not seen that really, aside from Arsenal. We've not seen that this season that much. So. It feels like a team that's trying to sort of find their feet and sort of find their way in this season, and you know, it's a point in the season where it doesn't. We can't tell as fans where it's going to go. We don't know whether we're going to be able to, you know, get top 4, whether we're going to, you know, slide down the table. It just feels like a bit we're in limbo at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a bit of inspiration though, and maybe Liverpool do, maybe the fans do, well, there's another Neil talk to get you going.
I've had enough of feeling defeated. This is one of the things that football gives you. Most of the time you get an opportunity to go and put everything right, to go and sort it out. And that's the joy of a league season. Liverpool have still got to go and play 29 more times, and it gives them the opportunity to go and put things right. Because it's rubbish getting beat. We all know it hurts. And we, this week at the Anfield Wrap, we've talked a great deal about that defeat against Tottenham Hotspur, because it felt like one of those defeats that you'll remember for years to come, more so in a sense than the 5-0 against Manchester City did. It felt like a defeat of significance, one which marks out a season and one which you begin to shift off and you've got to be able to build off the back of. That's what it felt like. So that starts. It has to start now. You build off the back this weekend. One of the best things about living where we live and having this city around us is that you can take succour from it. It's that sort of place. You can go out, you can walk the streets and you can feel it through the concrete, and you can feel that everyone's talking and thinking about football this week on Merseyside. The Blues are in got their own problems, got their own things going on. But the only thing that puts things right, the only thing that fixes things is 11 men getting back on the pitch, starting again from scratch and playing a football match against 11 more men. And we've got that to come at Anfield. We can all enjoy the city, all enjoy Anfield, all enjoy the ground, and all get behind Liverpool for this one this weekend. They shouldn't need us. It's Huddersfield at home. They shouldn't need us. But the fact of the matter is that they do. They do at the minute. They need to clamber out of the pit of despond they'll have found themselves in. They need to get right in front of Huddersfield, swarm all over them, start from scratch, start with the basics, work as hard as they can and build the football from there. They're going to do it. They're going to get a result this weekend. We start again. We start at this point. The season restarts here. Come and restart it with us at the Anfield Wrap.
So we're ready to go now, aren't we? We're ready to smash Huddersfield. And if you're going down to Anfield, a couple of nice things you can do as well as watch the football. Go to Home Baked, buy a pie. They had a break-in, which we covered on the wrap-up the other week. Get in there, support them. You'll get a lovely pie out of the process and you'll be helping them. Also, what else? The food banks as well. That's being given a push this weekend because Liverpool are playing Huddersfield. Shankly managed them both. He was a socialist, he looked after people. Let's look after people who are less fortunate than ourselves. Take some food along. The food banks are situated on Anfield Road. Buy Home Baked. two birds, one stone and all that there. And where's the other one? By the club shop as well. Any kind of non-perishable food, preferably. Take that along. You're going to be helping someone from the Anfield area who really needs your help. This week on the Anfield app as well, if you're getting a little bit sick of the football and analysis of losing to Spurs, there's been other stuff on there as well. A really interesting free show with Owen West. He's the Chief Superintendent of West Yorkshire Police. And he's got a bit of a different view on, you know, how football fans should be policed. Not maybe what you would regard as traditional, and what I would regard as a step in the right direction. A really good listen. Fantastic that he came all the way to Liverpool to talk to us about that. Give it a listen, give it a share. It's really good. And we've got a show coming up, a couple of live shows. Belfast. When's Belfast? 4th of November?
4th of November, yeah. Really excited about that one. We're going to be watching the West Ham game in the Speakeasy Bar. That's where the live show is going to happen. We're going to do a live post-match show, so it's a little bit different than the usual Saw Live. And then all of the usual stuff. So we're going to have live music. We'll have it's chaos pretty much. If you've never been to the Anfield Rap show, it's a bit mad. It's not just a talk about footy. It's a laugh as well. So yeah, get on that. You can get tickets on C tickets, and they're £10.
And there's a show here too at Avenue HQ where we mentioned we were earlier. That's after the Southampton game?
It is, yeah. That's after the Southampton game in November. It's a little bit different. It's going to be an extended live post-match show. It's going to be live music and there'll be a Q&A with the audience as well. So a bit of a chat about the Reds. So hopefully we win that day.
All the plugs you could possibly need there. And if you want some more, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. We're on all of them. Up the Reds.